Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. We saw all sectors in the main economy come up 0.1% in the past trading session. Information technology did the best, energy and utilities did the worst. Energy saw broad-based losses across just about everything. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Nvidia did well. What you'll find on our channel is what you need to know, not what you want to hear, and there's a very big difference between the two of them. A lot of people just want to hear how everything is easy and they don't need to put in any work. You already know, in every facet of your life, what you give is what you get. Your journey to consistent profitability starts with understanding the structural levels of the Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 charts. In the main markets, we've seen the fear gauge, the VIX, just collapse down, but the VIX has very strong structural support around this area. Be aware that we could get a spike up in the VIX, and that's going to catch a lot of people off guard. The Nasdaq and the S&P 500 are both very overextended at the current time. Price is always moving in a wave. It's always going up and down, up and down. This is the nature of price. Oil has been declining, as have bond yields. Bond prices are starting to normalize. Gold has been under a lot of duress and the DXY is staging a downtrend. What we want to see inside the main markets in order for things to keep on rallying, bond prices keep on going up as yields come down and the DXY starts to weaken again. If it goes in the other direction, we would expect the VIX to start spiking and retracements across not only stock indices but stocks as well as crypto. Marking up over 18,500 days worth of data with the CTKS method, what we can see in the Nasdaq, it's overcome a level of structural resistance and seeking to turn it to support at 13,623. If we look up, the next structural resistance level is quite a light one at 13,813. If we see the bears start to gain control, we would expect any move below that 13,588 mark to be problematic. But if the bulls remain in control, we would seek to push up to this next structural resistance level. When looking at the S&P 500 and analyzing it with the CTKS method for more than 55,800 days, we derive the true support and resistance levels inside the market, and you can learn this for yourself. We can see that the S&P 500 has a 43.72 mark of structural support. We're currently above that, and you can see a lot of variation in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. They look quite similar. We also have a lower level of structural support at 43.56. If we continue up, the next level of resistance is 44.03. If the bulls remain in control, we're heading up to that 44.03 level. If the bears start to push us down, they need to get below that 43.72 and preferably the lower levels of strong structural support inside the market in order to get a follow through. The DXY recently hit a variety of strong structural support levels and has done a technical bounce. We can see that the gopher dollar-yen has been rallying. The loonie, the dollar Canadian, has also done quite well. We can use the Forex pairs such as the Aussie, the Fiber, the Kiwi and the Cable to try to understand where the DXY could be going. The DXY is incredibly important to keep your eye on. That's why it's a Tier 1 chart. The DXY is currently following the negative trend through the CTKS method paths. This is three-dimensional risk management applied inside the service. One thing that we know, the DXY has been trading for over 20,000 days, nearly 21,000. If we start to lose this level on the DXY at that 105.5308, we would expect a little bit of a drop down, and this may catch a lot of people by surprise because this would lead to a rallying inside the markets. But if the DXY starts to turn around and starts to go the other way and we see bullish momentum entering the DXY, we can see the next structural resistance level up there at 106.0826 is a long way away. That would mean that the markets would sell down. Please keep your eye on the DXY. Inside the service, I do three-dimensional risk management paths to allow people to see a normalized negative price path. What we can see is the US 10-year yield is way overextended to the negative side, but just literally below where price is now, or the percentage rate is, there's an enormous amount of structural support. If the DXY rallies, US 10-year will be coming up. That will throw negative momentum onto the VIX and the major indices. What I mean by that is the VIX will spike, creating negative momentum. This will in turn impact the US 2-year junk bonds and flow through to the fear and greed factors on not only crypto but the stock market. We'll have a look at the structural levels on Bitcoin momentarily. This is gravitational analysis in the crypto market. Bitcoin is an incredibly good risk-on or risk-off sentiment indicator. If Bitcoin is going up, there's a likelihood that the main markets will soon be following, and we've seen that recently. Ethereum and the other alts cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity. So if you see Ethereum coming up, in all probability, Bitcoin has already led the charge. The alts overextend Bitcoin's upwards and downwards movements. That's why if you get a little bit of a kick up in Bitcoin, you would expect a bigger kick up in the alts. Of course, it goes the opposite direction as well. Bitcoin is currently 35,536. These dotted lines are called SLs or Stanfield levels. SLs are very powerful. They account for all of price action. They're not recent indicative price lines where most people tend to draw, and they can be very artistic. RIP lines are where you RIP your money. For quite some time, Bitcoin has been dealing with all of this structural overhead resistance. It is still following the normalized price path, the positive price path. If it gets through this resistance, it could be a pretty straight shot around to the $39,000+ level, because there's a positive fresh air gap above this resistance. Right now, the bulls want to see upward momentum, especially across this particular structural level at 35,622. We need to get above 36,211 and come back and retest and resume up. If we do that, Bitcoin is looking absolutely sensational. If the bears gain control because the DXY starts to spike, the VIX starts to spike, risk-off activity comes back into the market. That would lead to Bitcoin coming down through these structural levels, and just keep your eye on that 34,434 mark. Across the crypto market, we can see Bitcoin is marginally down. The standout winners are undoubtedly Link and Matic. They've done really well. Of course, Uni and BitTorrent New have done quite well as well. We can also see LDO, Rune and Trust Wallet TWT have been hit fairly hard. Solana has also come down, OP has come down as well, and NEAR and Injective and Arbitrum have also come down. Looking at the top cryptos, we can see XRP just eking out a positive gain, ADA and Doge probably doing the best at the current time. When we look to the 24-hour percentage gainers in the top 100, Link is number 1, followed by Sui, OKB, Arweave, Theta, Matic, Gala and Vet, followed by Synthetics. The greatest losers: Trust Wallet, LDO, Rune, Nexo, Rose, Solana, The Graph, Cake and Render. There's been a little over 71 million of total liquidations inside the crypto market. The vast majority have been short. Over the past 12 hours, a lot of short liquidations. Past 4 hours, a heap of short, and now it's starting to turn around. When the longs get liquidated, that brings the price down. Please be aware of scammers. They're just everywhere. If you want to know what I'm involved with, you just click here, because YouTube has changed their layout, and you'll see all the different things that I'm involved with in there. I'm not involved with ever managing anybody's money. I want you to manage your own money to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. There are no shortcuts inside financial markets, just like there's no shortcuts in life. A lot of people don't realize that the crypto market is impacted by the stock market and the bond market. When we look at Solana, we can see that it's seeking to overcome resistance, structural resistance, that is at this 43.19 mark. There's a little bit of structural support at 42.79 and just a little bit lower at 42.20. If we manage to overcome this structural resistance level, we're going to go up to the next structural level, and there's quite a nice fresh air gap there, up to 47.59. So price could move very, very quickly if the DXY continues on its way down, the VIX doesn't spike up, and the US 10-year and the US 2-year don't bounce. This would also be witnessed by the main markets, the major indices coming up, as well as the IT sector in specifics. For example, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Nvidia. We have a slight lowering of the probability of a 25 basis point increase at the next FOMC meeting. It's dropped from 9.8% to 9.6%. This is giving us an indication that the DXY may make its way further down. Always remember, price is always moving in a wave. I would like to thank our beloved global family for your amazing comments. We have one of the best communities on YouTube, and we focus on positive excellence. That is, bringing our best selves into each and every day. One thing to understand, the market is always moving in a wave. You control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return. The markets can go down, they can go neutral, and they can go up, all in the span of 24 hours. That's why simplistic picks on where price is going are generally flawed. You need a general direction, because if price goes positive, or the estimate is the price will go positive, you've got price moving in a wave. You may come in when the wave is going down and not realize that the upward momentum is there. This is something to be very aware of. Markets pay you for your synchronization. The checklist episode was really well received. I'm so happy that you found it useful, and I'm already upgrading the checklist to make it even more useful to you. Thank you everybody for your kind comments. We have just an incredible global family. If you're new to our community, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of what we're doing here. You will find that our content is unlike anything else on the internet. We deal with the facts, we deal with the hard work. A lot of people want to hear that they can go to the gym after sitting on the couch and developing a 1-pack, and they can get a 6-pack stomach after one gym visit. And there's no shortage of people that will sell you on that capacity to just pop a pill or do something like that. But please know, it's absolute rubbish. Everybody knows that you succeed in direct proportionality to the work that you put in. And that's what our community is about. We put in the hard work because that's what it's all about. Don't let somebody suck you into the concept that you can do nothing and become rich and wealthy, or you can just put your feet up and not worry about things. In life, you must work hard. The key is to just understand what to do. And if you understand what to do, you're going to do incredibly well. Again, thank you to everybody who commented on yesterday's video. You're awesome. In the financial world, unfortunately, you'll strike a lot of people that don't have integrity or decency. Those people generally end up page 1 getting long prison sentences. When people promise you the world, good luck on getting it. You must put in the hard work. And that's what we do as a global family. We subscribe to positive excellence. Kindness is our superpower, as is learning, humility, and patience. There is no problem taking returns out of the market under any market condition, but you need to have your learning in order. Learning is earning. When people don't know how to do something, they want to do it really easily. That's like the weight loss pill, or the bulking up of muscle pill if you want to go the other way, or the IQ pill. Just pop that and you'll be a super genius. These things are largely fantasy. We just have to put in the hard work. When we know what the rules and the laws are inside anything that we apply our attention to, we're going to figure it out. And financial markets have their own rules. One of the rules of financial markets, it's not a zero-sum game. Financial markets pull all the money together. The markets pay people who are synchronized, and it takes from people who are not. It's that simple. You never compete against another person. You compete against your own knowledge. If your knowledge is low, the market will say, here's a loss. What did you learn from that? Therefore, inside the CTKS Creed, we say we are dedicated and committed. We either win or learn and never blame. When the market hands us a loss, we say, ouch, that really hurt financially. But what did I learn so I don't do that again? Blame externalizes the problem. It's got to be somebody else's fault, but not your own. Embracing that kind of thing will lead to your accounts getting blown up, and not in a good way. Instead, the focus is, if you get a loss, just turn it into a lesson, create a personal rule from it. For example, if the markets start to turn around, your personal rule could be this: look at the DXY and the VIX before I look at the markets. Know what the structural levels are. It could be something like this: if you've invested or traded and the market goes down and then turns around, but you sold at the bottom, it could be price always moves in a wave. There are so many rules that you can personally apply. You need to uncover these. Each rule costs money, and it can cost your entire account. Ignorance is not bliss inside financial markets, it's financial devastation. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't learn the rules because they spend their time blaming. That's why you find blaming can work in real life. You can just say, oh, it's that person's fault. But the concept is, inside financial markets, the market doesn't care about your blame. It only cares about your learning. It cares that you know the lessons and rules of the market, and when you know those lessons and rules, you become consistently profitable. That's all there is to it. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.